Right, good evening folks, welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. I thought I'd try and mix it up a wee bit and give you something a wee bit more interesting than my dull face to look at. So, on my right we've got Robotron, Centipede and the absolutely stonking Defender. So how are you all? I'm good. Hopefully when you're watching this I will be, where will I be about? I should be in the pub getting extremely drunk, hopefully. We have me and my mates, I mean, it was one of these things, we used to go out every 6 months, but you know what, see since what do you call it, COVID came along, people just, I don't know, people just don't seem to be as sociable as they once were. I think we've kind of gotten used to not going out. I mean, I've noticed, you know, when I'm with my girlfriend, we'll go shopping, we go to Stirling, we go to Falkirk, we go to Edinburgh, Glasgow, and I can honestly say that things have never recovered. Places, even on a Saturday night, I was out on Saturday night last weekend, and things are a lot quieter, you know, so I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's just because people have just gotten used to, oh, you know what? I'm saying people have got used to not going out. I think a massive part, probably the main part of the reason is people simply don't have any money. I mean, I'm lucky, I've got a decent enough job. I mean, I get a fairly decent wage. And other than having my little blowouts when it comes to, you know, I mentioned last week that I bought a Steam Deck and I didn't actually mean to buy it. Well, I meant to put a deposit down, but what I didn't realise was that it was going to get delivered right away. I thought it was going to be one of these 6-month queue things, and so that's why when I paid the £4 deposit, I thought that's fine. It'll be well after Christmas before I can get it, because I'm trying to get a mister. I think I might have mentioned it last week. The wonderful Holly is going to get herself and me a mister. I'm paying for mine obviously, but she's very kindly offered, I asked her if she wouldn't mind sorting it out, so Holly is on it. We're ordering them from RMC, you know, the Retro Man Cave place. They do this delightful sort of all-in-one console thing, but the first batch that they put out came with everything. You got your D10. I'm a complete monkey when it comes to these things. I really don't understand what I need. But I've reliably been informed I need a D10, and these are the things that are, they're basically like, what the hell's it going to say, I can't remember, as rare as, I don't know, something that's extremely rare. And yeah, so I think that the initial batch of these, you could buy the all-in-one, which included the D10, but now they don't supply that. You've got to go and get that yourself. So I think Holly's going to place an order from, is it everyone's favourite Chinese place? Is it Alien Express? What's it called again? Something like that. Talking to the Steam Deck. I mean, I placed the order, a couple of weeks ago, and I got an email, 2 weeks ago saying that it had been dispatched, and it wasn't showing. It said that it was in the country, but it didn't really give you any updates. I went onto the Parcel Force website yesterday, and it said that they'd tried to deliver it. It was out for delivery on the 24th, which would be Tuesday, I think it was. And then later on that day it said that it wasn't delivered and it was returned to the depot. And then on the 26th it said that it was going to be getting dispatched, and well, as of the time I'm making this video, which is Thursday the 27th, they've still never posted it. So I phoned them up tonight and they says, yeah, we've got it here, we'll get it posted tomorrow. I says, why was it not posted on, why did I not get it on the 24th? They said, oh, probably because the guy ran out of time. So he ran out of time, he took it back, they sit in their arse for a day, do absolutely bugger all with it, Then you update the website and say that they've got it here, and it may or may not get dispatched. So yeah, I don't know. I think the mail postage is a bit pants, but hopefully I'm going to get it tomorrow. If you're a member of my Discord channel, to stop boring the tits off of people, I've created a steaming pile of deck, which is a specific Steam Deck chat room thing, whatever it's called. I think there's only going to be 3 of us in it. There's Big Juffer, there's Steve, and then there's myself. Now I was talking to both these lads tonight, and they've already given me some top tips for hardware that I need to get. So I've ordered that, so hopefully get that tomorrow along with the actual Steam Deck itself. So excuse me, just going to get my coffee. So how are you anyway? I hope you're all well. What have I been doing this week? Not a great deal. I was at Cooksville, excuse me. I was at my Cooksville on Monday. Tuesday, did I do anything at all? Can't remember. Wednesday I was again at Cooksville, and obviously tonight, Thursday, I'm recording this. Just need to double check the time, because I've got a watch with Mainmeister at 9 o'clock, so I need to make sure that I finish this in time. Don't know what I'm going to be, why am I even mentioning this, because by the time you watch this it's going to be in the past, but yeah, I don't know what I'm going to watch, but we'll watch something. We did watch some, it was like the collapse of Atari, which was quite interesting. So gaming wise, what have I been doing with myself? Not a whole lot. I'm actually kind of, not embarrassed, I'm saddened to say that this is the first time I've turned these on for, I don't know, I'm not going to say 6 months, I reckon a good maybe 2-3 months. Now it gets me thinking about where I am with this hobby. I mean, I've been making YouTube videos now since 2013, and I'm still a massive fan. I love doing YouTube, I love my games. But it's got me thinking that I really don't play systems anymore. I mean, can you imagine back in, I don't know, at the golden era of arcades, can you imagine back in 1985 when you're playing Hyper Sports or Rolling Thunder in an arcade, and somebody says to you in, I don't know, in the future you're going to have a machine which is going to allow you to play all these machines. It was impossible to even imagine that, because, you know, emulation didn't exist, and that's the thing. I mean, I know emulation doesn't just apply to video games, but I don't think I'd ever actually heard the term emulation until video games came along. Emulators, you know, your Win Vices and Spectaculators and MAME, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you absolutely would not have, you couldn't have got your head, at least I couldn't have got my tiny brain around the concept of having a machine in my house and I had free access to all these machines. And here I am, you know, what's that, 30, 35, 40 years later, I'm blessed to have 3 arcade cabinets. Now I know they're not original hardware, you know, I mean there's people who, you know, have original hardware, and that would be if you had the time, the money and the space and the expertise to fix them, then that would be wonderful. I mean, I'd love to have a full arcade of machines, but these are the next best thing. I mean, this bad boy here, the Leisure 2000, it's an original cabinet, it's got the proper CRT. I don't know what sort of board it had in it when it first came out, but I'm assuming, given it's called a Leisure 2000, probably meant it came out in the 1990s, something like that. This one over here, that was my mate Dave. He built that for me. I mean, I did pay him to build it, but yeah, I think I gave him 100 quid to build it, and it took him, he said he would never ever do that again. The amount of time, but that's, you know what, pound for pound, that one there is my favourite machine. It's got the twin sticks, you can see there it's got Robotron on it, it plays brilliantly, it really does. And then this big bad boy here, I bought that off Paul Spriggs. it's a great cabinet. I keep thinking I need to really, I need to put a bigger monitor in it. I don't know what it is. I think it's quite such a big machine. The monitor itself does look quite small. I mean, it's the same size as that monitor, but that one looks bigger. I think because the actual form factor of that is smaller, whereas this is huge. It has got a massive bezel, so it kind of does make it look a bit smaller. But yeah, I mean, I'm so lucky to have these three machines, and I really need to make more use of them. Definitely. Just looking at that there, the high score. Why has that got some upside down mushrooms in it? I don't know if you can see. I know that's a good camera, but I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, don't regret buying that camera. What I like about it, I mean, I can see myself on the screen. It's got the wee screen that kind of flips round. It's got a really good picture, which hopefully you did notice last week. Though somebody did point out that in its HD glory, it did actually it did actually show off a bump in my wall. I didn't actually notice that myself, but yeah, I'm glad to have that camera. I think it's something, as I always say, it doesn't really matter how much something costs. If you're going to make good use of it, then it's money well spent. If you're not going to make use of it, even if it's 50 quid and you don't use it, then it's a waste of money. Video wise, what did I do? I did do a computer and video games talk through. What was it? Zap issue number 12, I think it was. And I always enjoy doing these because the thing is, I'm actually quite enjoying reading the magazine, and I actually think it's quite a relaxing sort of video to make and to watch. As I mentioned, there was a guy, I can't remember who it was. If you were that person that came up and spoke to me at Play Blackpool, please say hello. I did make that video especially for you. Yeah, I do enjoy these, but I am trying to get back into making kind of regular videos again. I mean, I know I do. I mean, I'm doing one tonight. I'm doing a live. What do you call it? Watch with Mainmeister. I do my Sunday live streams. I obviously do the occasional live waffle, but I do miss making regular videos now. I downloaded. I'm not going to tell you what system it is. I downloaded. It was a 68 gig collection of games for this particular system. And it's not a CD based system, by the way. And I was intrigued to find out what is in this 68 gig. I mean, I've got collections for this particular machine which are no more than about 4 gig, and as far as I'm concerned, it's got every game possible. So what the hell are you going to get out of 68 gig? Well, trust me, I've got it up and running. It uses. I was going to tell you what emulator it uses, and that's just going to give the game away. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but trust me, there are shitloads of games in this collection which I never even knew existed. I didn't know existed, and it actually spurred me on to do a video. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's 8 games, and it's got a theme. You'll need to stand by and watch out for it. Probably going to come out on Monday or Tuesday next week. So yeah, I am planning to kind of get more videos done. I've got loads of Blimey It's Onlys lined up. I mean, who have I got? I've been in touch with, on a retro tip, Pete. Pete's a cracking lad. He's a massive Vectrex fan like myself. And I messaged Pete the other day there, and I says, look, do you fancy doing a collab video? So he says, absolutely, so we're going to get that done at some point. I did speak to Nova Bug. I'm going to, Chris and I are hoping to do I can't remember if I told you about it before, we're going to do a kind of what's best, C64 or Amstrad CPC. Chris is a massive Amstrad fan. Yes, they do exist, trust me. And obviously, I was a C64 guy, so we are planning to do, it might be a series of videos depending on how we get on with time. And then Blimey It's Only is what have I got lined up. I need to get in touch with Dan Malone and Richard Linefeller of Palace Software, Oblique, what do you call it? Bitmap Brothers. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting them on a stream. Who else? I was talking to somebody else recently, and I said, yeah, we'll get a video together, I can't remember. I need to get another video with Lone Boys Post 1975. I mean, Dave's a good mate. Unfortunately, we don't talk as often as I would like on the phone, because Dave works, I'm going to say works odd shifts. He probably thinks I work odd shifts. Dave's permanently night shift, I'm permanently day shift, which means, you know, the chances of us actually crossing doesn't happen very often. Now, we've been talking for about 2 years about getting Dave up here. There's a place not far from me which was a famous, it was the scene of an alleged UFO abduction. Well, the guy didn't get abducted, he got attacked by a UFO. And it's only 5 minutes away from here, and Dave and I have spoken at great length and said that we'll absolutely need to do a live stream, or at least make a video up there, get a tent, get a fire going, and yeah, get a video done. So we've been talking about it for a couple of years, and Dave keeps saying that he's going to take holidays, and he keeps saying he's going to do it, and he doesn't. So if you're watching this, Dave, get these holidays booked next year, mate. Get your arse up here, and you can have a play of these machines. We need to make it happen. Whilst I am not a fan of Christmas, I mean, Christmas is literally around the corner. We've got, what have we got to look forward to? We've got Halloween in what, 3 days time. Then we've got bonfire night, although there's all these fuckers that let off fireworks. They've been letting off fireworks now for about 2 weeks, which really pisses me off no end. Because my dog's quite literally shit himself. I mean, Archie the Westie, he is absolutely petrified. The only good thing, and it's a bad thing, but it's going to be an advantage, is Archie, because of his age, he's now 13 years old, he's getting to the point he's almost stone deaf. Which means when I get up in the morning and I shout at him, the poor wee guy doesn't hear me, and he's fast asleep. He sleeps so much now that he never used to. Purely and simply because the wee bugger can't actually hear anything. He's not completely deaf, but he's definitely going that way. So I suppose that is a plus point, because Jack's my other dog. He's not really bothered about fireworks. He certainly doesn't get agitated with them the same as Archie does. But the fact that Archie is now going deaf, it means that he's not going to hear them. And obviously we've got Christmas round the corner. This year, my family and we've decided, I mean, we really kind of cut back on Christmas, because to my mind Christmas is all about being it's about a family, it's about being with family. Now, I'm on my own now, you know, I mean, I've got my girlfriend Lee, but she's got her own family, I've got my family don't really come together at Christmas time. So technically, I would be on my own at Christmas, but I think Lee's going to invite me to her house for Christmas dinner. Excuse me. Hopefully, I'm sure that will happen. But yeah, quite a number of years ago, my family and I, we just thought to ourselves, you know what? Especially with everything going through the roof with money and that kind of thing, let's take the pressure off everybody, and we'll just get a token present. So we can put a limit of £10 per person, which, you know, I can afford. It means, you know, for my family it's about 130 quid. I obviously give Eva, my daughter, quite a bit more, and I get Lee something decent as well. But that was good. It meant that, you know, you can easily budget for that. But this year we've decided we're not going to bother with any Christmas presents. And you're probably thinking, what a bunch of tight bastards these Scottish people are. But what we've done is we've booked this big fancy house, I think it's down in Ayr, and it's like a 10 bedroomed villa. It's got a swimming pool, it's got a pool table, so we're going to that, and I think it's the middle of January, which is actually good, because I've actually got to the point where I dislike Christmas. I still like the kind of build up to it, a few weeks beforehand. But the thing is, when you're working, you're so busy, so you don't really get to kind of enjoy the build up. But this year, the company that I work for, we actually closed down for 2 weeks, which is great because it means that you can go away for 2 weeks. Everybody's off. Yep, if for these keen-eyed viewers, you may have noticed a slight jump cut, as in 2 days jump cut. Yeah, the file that I uploaded I originally recorded the Waffle on Thursday, uploaded it, and then when I checked it on Friday, which was yesterday, it hadn't uploaded properly. So I thought, oh bollocks, I'm going to re-upload the file. Then of course I discovered that I'd actually deleted the file. When it was uploading, I deleted the file. Now, I emptied the trash can. So that was the Friday Waffle gone. I'm like, bollocks. So I got in touch with one of my friends, Del Boy, and I says, help, I need some help here. I've deleted the Friday Waffle, I need to get it back again. Now Del gave me the name of a piece of software, and I managed to source it. And by chance, I managed to find the Friday Waffle, and I thought, great, everything's hunky dory. Uploaded it, tried to upload it last night, and it would upload okay, and then it got to a point where it was processing. It would get to 44%, stop, and then reset, go back to 0, get to 44%. It kept going on and on and on and on. When I played the video file, I noticed the second half was completely corrupted. Now, like I said, I don't know, and I'm hoping it's not this thing. I would be pretty pissed off and not angry. I would be upset if I thought for 1 second it was actually the camera. I don't think it is. I think it's probably just got corrupted somewhere along the lines when I was rendering it. I mean, the file sizes were huge, so hopefully it's going to work okay. So yeah, you've got the last 20 minutes you've just watched was recorded on Thursday. This is now Saturday morning. I can't for the life of me remember what I was talking about. I was rabbiting on about Christmas. I'm going to be doing a collab video with the Lund Boys post, as we always do. We have a Christmas special, always look forward to that. So yeah, that's it. So top tip, folks, if you have a channel and you're uploading to YouTube, never ever delete the video file until you know the video's working fine. I'm one of these, I'm just impatient. I like to get files deleted because I've got quite a small C drive. Behave yourself, because my C drive is quite small. I've got to make sure I delete stuff because the number of times that I've you know, actually, just when I'm talking here, I think I know what's happened. When the video was rendering, I noticed my C drive. Now I was saving the file to a different drive, but I noticed the C drive had 0 space. It had 0 bytes free, and then this was mid render, and then I deleted a few files, and you know there was a bit of space in the C drive. But I'm thinking that's probably what's caused it, a corruption. What do you think, guys? Any technical people? Do you agree? I reckon that's probably been what's happened. I think because my C drive completely ran out of space. For whatever reason, it just basically screwed up the file. I don't know, might be talking bollocks, but anyway, listen, like, I'm not going to, I can't remember what I was talking about. Have any of you guys who've got channels, have you had that happen to you where you've recorded a video and then it doesn't work, or for whatever reason it's corrupted, or it didn't record properly, and you've got to try and do it over again? It's a pain in the arse, it really is. And the thing is, I thought to myself, well, at least I've got the podcast, but the podcast is exactly the same. It's corrupted as well, so you get 20 minutes of me talking, and then it just messes up. So anyway, listen, I am. Apologies if I've answered any of these questions in the first 20 minutes. I don't think I have, but I'm not going to sit and watch my video to see if I have. So let me let me just dive into questions, because I think there were, I don't think I answered any questions, excuse me, from 2 weeks ago. Right, Friday Waffle, this is a Friday Waffle live that I did with Panther. I think there were some questions in here. So, Steve Gaming, great waffle, thanks both of you. Panther's 621 subs shocked me a bit. He deserves to have way more. Absolutely agree, Steve. Now, a question for your next waffle. Games you've been given as a gift, were they always shit, or did someone once buy you a really good one? Now, as I've mentioned quite a few times, I was an adult when I got my computer, so my mum and dad, they would never buy me, they wouldn't buy me games, you know, that just wasn't something that happened. My mate Grant, who I was actually out with last night, funnily enough, I mean, we've been mates for years, he had a Spectrum, I had the C64, and we used to buy each other games, and for the first couple of years, we kind of left it as a surprise. He would surprise me with a game, and you know, all I knew is I was getting a computer game, and I would buy him one. And yeah, the first game that he bought me was Cobra by Ocean. That game based on the rather poor Stallone. I love Sylvester Stallone, but Cobra's shit. And now, if you're a Spectrum owner, you're probably thinking, what are you moaning about? Cobra's one of the best games ever. Cobra on the Spectrum, it's a completely different game from the C64 one. And it's actually really good. It was programmed by Joffa Smith, who was an absolute coding legend. You know, there was anything that he did was brilliant. He did Green Beret, he did Hyper Sports, I think he did Mikey as well. So yeah, the Spectrum version of Cobra is great. The C64 one is just awful. I mean, the main sprite, it looks like a ballet dancer. He's got this big massive body up top, and he's got these wee spindly legs. He looks like he's got a pair of these skinny jeans on. Anyway, you look like me. You know, apart from the graphics being extremely blocky, I mean, you know, talking seriously blocky, the backgrounds looked shit, it was garish looking. The music, I think the music was alright, I think it was Martin Galway did the music, but back then, no, I wanted a game, I didn't want to have an expensive SID tune. So Cobra was absolutely garbage. I have played it since then, and I don't think it's as bad as I remember it to be, but I think that's because every game, even the good games from 40 years ago, have dated. So you kind of look at things in a different light, whereas back in 1985, you know, you had good games, you had bad games, and so there was a big gulf of difference. And I think the fact that you're not paying for games anymore, you know, you're basically getting games for free, that makes a difference. But yeah, Cobra was awful. The second game which my mate bought me was from Atari ST. Now, I did dig out a photograph of myself, and I'll try and link to it. I will try and link to it. That was taken on Christmas morning when I got this game, and it was by Anko, I think, and it was a fruit machine simulator. Now, I love these games. There was a game on the C64 called Super Fruit. It was actually published by Commodore. Just noticed my camera keeps jumping in and out of different modes. It's going between, is it portrait and macro? I don't know, I might need to fanny about with it a wee bit. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, this game, it was essentially crap. It really was. So yeah, hopefully you're looking at the photograph of me playing it with my yellow and black rugby top. If the keen-eyed viewers, if you notice in the background, you'll see my record collection, and you'll also see a copy of C&VG. If you look very carefully, you'll see my I think it was my Panasonic music player, which used to belong to my mum and dad, and yeah, I don't know what size of TV it was. It was a Bush, I think it was, or was it Pye TV? It was about, I don't know, 17 inches. It'll be bigger than that, 20 inches? I can't remember what size these TVs were. It was a coloured TV, And I think if I remember rightly, it was sitting on top of a stool, which was a really good look. But yeah, after that, getting 2 crap games, we decided, right, I'll tell you what game to buy, and vice versa. Right, don't think there's any. Right, that was the only question from 2 weeks ago. Let me just dive in and just listen to how deep my voice is. I sound like Barry White. I think it's because I was. You know, the weird thing was, my girlfriend Lee doesn't drink. She's never touched alcohol in her life, and because of that, we don't. Well, obviously she doesn't drink. I don't drink either. You know, I might have a couple of ciders, and so I can go for years, a couple of years without having any alcohol. And yet last night I probably had about 7 pints, which is quite a bit. That's a lot. You know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I wouldn't be sitting here doing a waffle. I would be seriously hungover, pounding headache, probably being sick. And you know what? I feel absolutely as right as rain. So it's weird. A lot of people, when they get older, their tolerance to hangovers is lessens, whereas I find that I'm alright now. Weird. Which is good, because I don't want to have a hangover. Right, let's have a quick look. Okay, there's all the comments. Right, Charlie's Angel, you look young, Alan. Thanks for the videos. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, Charlie. Very kind of you, mate. Mr. Colin Jones, you've finally succumbed to he's called it a Stream Deck. Steam Deck. I hope you enjoy it. Right, okay, I can now mention this because in fact I think I might have mentioned that I was getting my Steam Deck in part 1 of the video, can't remember. I checked the tracking and it went out for delivery on Monday, and then the tracking then said that it was returned to depot undelivered. And then that was on the Monday the 24th, and then on the 26th, there was no update on the 25th. The 26th, all it said was awaiting, what was it, in depot, awaiting to go out, something like that. That was Wednesday. Still didn't have it. I phoned them, and they categorically promised me, they told me that it had been handed over to Royal Mail and I would get it on Friday. Still not got it. So the thing has been, I mean, I think it came from Holland. It's been in the UK now in the local depot for a week, and I still haven't got it, which is really pissing me off big style. So I might have to, I'm going to phone them actually and see if I can maybe try and pick it up, because I have no idea where this thing is. It's a bit of a pisser. When you buy something, you want it. In fact, it's worth quite a bit of money as well. So yeah, I've just completely come out of my the thing. Yeah, so you've got your Steam Deck. I am looking forward to getting it. And Colin's going on about the Mister. I can't. You know what? I can't even remember if I was talking about the Mister. I think I did mention the Mister in part 1. So so I don't repeat myself, I'm not even going to talk about the Mister because I think I've already talked about it. If that makes any sense. Right, I love this question. Colin's asking, what dot matrix printers have you owned in the past, and would you ever consider using one again? First part of that question, I have owned, I think it was 2, might have been 3, I think it was just 2. Both were Citizen. I don't think they even make hardware anymore, maybe they do, don't know. Both Citizen printers. I think the first one I got was a black and white printer, and then I got a colour one for my Commodore Amiga. So I did have a printer on the C64, so I could do my word processing, whatever. And then I got one for the Amiga. Would I consider getting one now? Absolutely, because you know what? Modern printers, bubble jet printers, laser printers, they absolutely take the piss when it comes to, you know, replacing ink. It's a well-known fact, you're actually cheaper to buy a brand new printer, and the cartridges that you get with it are only probably not even half full. once they run out, throw the printer in the bucket and get a new one, because to actually buy a full set of ink it's ridiculous. I'm sure somebody had said that apparently pound for pound printer ink is more expensive than gold, which is crazy, but then it's not because it's the ink itself. You're paying for the ink, you're paying for the plastic shell, you're paying for the little circuit board and all this kind of bollocks, you know what I mean? It's just nonsense. Whereas the good old dot matrix, I think it was it was just that kind of big cartridge thing that had like the ribbon that went round and round and round and round, something like that. But yeah, I love the old, I miss the sound of a printer. Paul Patrick, good to hear you've got your Mister order in. I bought my D10 Nano at the start of lockdown in 2020 and it was one of the best gaming purchases I've ever made. It is now probably one of the easiest ways to play PlayStation games on an HD display. Yeah, hopefully I'll get it. Like I said, Holly, did I mention it or not? Holly's in the process of arranging to get myself and her one, so I'll get it when I get it. Like I said, I didn't expect to get the Steam Deck. So the fact that I've got that, I don't have the money for a Mister at the moment. Yeah. Right, Wee Bob Art. Nicely done with upgrade. I did think a few weeks ago when I was watching that maybe my eyes needed lasered again. Yeah, because the quality of these videos were so blurred. Anyway, questions for next week. What is the worst thing about watching the Friday Waffle? I don't know, Bob. What is the worst thing about watching the Friday Waffle? Patfy, obviously look at me for 40 minutes. When you don't get a chance to watch it until Sunday night and Alan talks about how great it is that it's Friday. I totally get that, you know, I totally get that. Everybody hates Sundays. You've got that horrible Sunday feeling going back to work the next day, and yeah, I totally get that. You need the Friday waffle has to be consumed on a Friday. I know in the case of this it's coming out on a Saturday, but totally get you, mate. Anyway, not a question, but hope you have a good one, and thankfully I'm watching this on Saturday morning. Where is Gordon the Gopher? That's a good question. I was actually queuing up to introduce myself to Gordon the Gopher, and some twat, was it Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby, they skipped the queue, and Gordon's gone, so yeah. Rocket Bunny 71, huge improvement with the camera, long overdue if you don't mind me saying. Yeah, it's only taken me what, 13 years. Have I mentioned Beard Meets Food? I think I probably have. Again, I'm trying to remember what I told you about. A guy, he's got a YouTube channel. He went from 3,000 subscribers about 4 years ago, and he's now in 2.25 million. Absolutely insane. Great Waffle as always. I'm trying to decide whether to get a Steam Deck or not. Now there is no backlog and it's readily available. I got a Switch years ago, but it never gets used. However, the deck is different as it's essentially a handheld PC, which you can play some of the latest PC games, but it also loads with emulators. I hope you're going to do some videos telling us all about it. You can absolutely guarantee that's going to happen. Yeah. One Switch, happy belated birthday Alan, camera looks decent. You didn't have a smudgy pink blob for a face, put it that way. On the Mister, I'm still not convinced over the Raspberry Pi. I run RetroPie through a CRT and there's next to no gameplay lag, I notice. Maybe I can see a skipped frame in some games, such as Galaxian on the title page. Maybe your HDMI TV is introducing some lag. Yeah, the problem is, you know, my TV's about a year old and it's got gameplay mode, which is supposed to reduce lag, but it doesn't really seem to do the job that well. Sam P, excuse me, even if we had the skills to repair these old consoles, yeah, we're talking about my PC Engine stopped working a couple of weeks ago. They use loads of custom chips which are difficult to replace when they fail and can lead to dead projects. I gave up on CPS1 Capcom hardware for that very reason. Too many problems nowadays and it's just not worth the time and trouble. In the PC Engine, it's been shown that the custom chips external pins eventually disconnected from the silicon due to how they're manufactured. So it's not a matter of time. Sorry, so it's a matter of time, not if. So I'm actually kind of glad to hear that, Sam, because then I think to myself, yeah, I've not just been unlucky. It's if I was to buy another PC engine, which I'm not going to do, I'm going to have the same problem again. Dreamcatcher, your e-begging story reminded me of the time Nostalgia Nerd pleaded with his community to buy him a new PC so he could run the latest Doom game. Totally irrelevant to the theme of his channel, with his tongue firmly in cheek so he could deny being serious if it blew up in his face, whilst cashing in donations from the people who bizarrely thought it was a reasonable request. Yeah, I don't know whether that's good or bad. If he's doing it for a laugh, then hopefully he didn't take donations. Nostalgia Nerd's actually one channel I do like. I've not watched it, he's not been putting out that much recently, but I do like his channel. One of the few bigger channels I watch. Mark, whatever, welcome to the Steam Deck Club. Oh, we're not there yet, Mark. I need to try and fucking find out where it is. New camera is a huge improvement. I will be pestering the living daylights out of you, Mark, when it comes to questions about the Steam Deck. And lastly, Claxing Cow. One small problem with HD, I can see there's some kind of small hole, dent in the wall behind your head, and it's totally distracting me. I think that's where I put my picture up, not quite centre, and then I moved it. I can't remember, I'm actually looking at the video just now and I can't see what you're talking about. But anyway, right, listen folks, I'm going to go and hopefully get this, if you're watching this video right now, you'll know that it did successfully work. So anyway, I'm going to get going, going to look for my Steam Deck. Thanks as always to all the support that you guys give me. You do absolutely rock, you really do, and I appreciate every single person that takes time to comment, like my channel, subscribe, whatever, and more importantly, watch it. That's great. So yeah, I hope you had a nice Friday, have an awesome Saturday, and an even better Sunday. I will be along as always on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock till 9. Until then, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. See ya.